You know, people responded really well. You know, this was the early years of Belize's independence. There was this national pride, you know, that we had a music that we could call our own. So there was very good reaction from the public towards Belizean artists that were doing original music, that were doing something that hadn't been done before. Andy Palacio enrolled as a volunteer after the Sandinista government won in Nicaragua to go to remote communities where he met this older person, Garifuna person, who he spoke in Garifuna, and the person really just cried because he never thought in his lifetime he would see a young person talk to him in his own language. It happens that in that village in Nicaragua, only a few elders in the community knew how to speak the language. Somehow Andy Palacio has always been involved in many of the Garifuna projects that I've done. And to me, that has been the secret of the Garifuna people. I mean, how can you explain that today they still survive as a very identifiable group of people when they were set to be exterminated by the British? I mean, they were left in the island of Ratan and Guanaja, left there to die, the 2,000 Garifuna persons that survived the journey. How can you explain that in 2009, there are 500,000 Garifunas in 5 different countries with a identifiable culture, very strong music, their language, their dances, the food, the way of life. It's pretty amazing. And the only way that they got here is because they stuck together from scratch. You know, they arrived to Belize with nothing, in canoes like what you saw in the recreation. You know, with a few plants, some food and canoes, and they built those communities themselves. That what's really important in Garifuna culture is the spirit of community, is the spirit that we're all one, that is not one person that will make or something. It has to be done by the group. So that's how actually Stone Tree started, with Andy.
The recording of this project has been a very, very interesting experience with a lot of innovation along the way.
We wanted to explore the more soulful side of Garifuna music. We've been able to bring a new sound, but at the same time, it's something that's very rooted in Garifuna culture. When we came together to do the Watina album, I wanted to find a name that kind of represented that spirit, that we were an extended family of musicians, that many of them had contributed to get where we were. The collective has many members, but it's more of a loose organization, but there's a core group that we've always been touring together, and especially the last year with Andy, which is the band that now continues to tour. This year they did the Andy Palacio tribute tour in Europe and in North America. Just today we got back from Guatemala. Next year they're going to continue to tour. So, Andy carried everything on his shoulder. He was so good. He was so good on and off stage that it made all our works very easy. And we didn't realize it until we lost him.
I had been following the careers of the different artists that make up the collective, and for me it is something that I had always desired to get into some kind of collaboration with each one of these guys.
Joshua is one of the youngest members of the Garifunas collective, and he's also our lead drummer. Now, the Garifunas lead drum, which is called the primero, it's the heart of Garifunas music. It's the sound that's so distinctly Garifunas, and the way of playing is what makes most of Garifunas songs. So we've been working with Joshua for what, almost 10 years now. It's so inspiring when you see a young person that, you know, he doesn't give up. You know, he's gonna be playing drums the rest of his life. You know, and that's what he loves to do, and that's what and we've seen him develop. You know, Andy and I, and he has grown into that role. He has a great passion for Garifunas culture and the rhythms.
That the Garifunas collective now is not only just a band. We're a part of the peacemaking process between ourselves and Guatemala. Performing in Guatemala for the first time was very exciting. It was very nice to know that the people accept us, accepts our music, our culture. It was a pleasure to share what Bélize is all about with them. Everybody understands that what we're doing is not just playing music. We're here teaching the world about Garifunas. We're here teaching the world about Bélize. So it's not just a band. It's a movement that we're starting here, and hopefully we can get other people to join this movement. Love, life, bye guys, mysteries, everything.